All right, so of course, tomorrow, New Year's Day, it is the day of New Year's resolutions. Now, in about 10 minutes' time, we're going to look through some of the honours lists. But of course, is a New Year's resolution actually the road to rack and ruin? Because sometimes I feel that making big, bold resolutions to change massive parts of your life, they never last. You can never keep to them. Well, to talk to us through that is the life coach, Jacqueline Hurst, who joins us live here on TalkTV. Morning to you, Jacqueline.
Good morning to you. How are you doing?
Fine, thank you. Nice to talk about something else, to be honest, other than China and COVID and everything else we've been discussing. What is the key to a New Year's resolution that can be kept?
Sorting out your mindset is the key to anything like that. I feel the same as you, Christo, about you make these, massive, wide sweeping statement of you're going to be a new you. It's quite a lot of pressure, I think, when we think that way. I've got to do all of this stuff and be this new me and then it will be fine. And one day at a time is a much easier way to get to any goal. But we have to start in our mind. We have to start in our brain. We have to start with our thinking. Our thinking ultimately generates our feelings and our actions and then our outcomes. So to start in the actions and the outcomes is, in my opinion, the wrong way around.
Yeah, I understand. It's sort of make your resolution the process, not the outcome.
Exactly. That's exactly right.
Because it's interesting. My partner, quite rightly, is a bit worried about how much weight I've gained over the last few years, which has been a lot of weight. Part of it's for medical reasons, I will say. I won't go into the drugs I have to take for various ailments. But, so I keep falling into the trap, right? Right, don't worry, babe. First, I'm going to go to the gym every day. I'm going to eat really healthy. And he's like, no, stop, because you won't stick to it that way. So he wants my New Year's resolution to literally be just try and eat a bit healthier. That's as far as he wants my resolution to go. Firstly, is that the right strategy? And secondly, what would be your advice for people like me who need to try and stick to that kind of thing?
So I really like what you've said there, what your fiance or husband? Your
husband, actually. Don't call him fiance. He's my husband now, but anyway.
No, you probably said that. Okay, husband. Your husband, I like what he said, which is really good because it breaks it down into very small chunks. Just try a little bit, to eat a little bit healthier. That's a good sort of way to start the process. And I like that because it's baby steps, and baby steps often work. Again, mindset is everything. And again, this sounds like a plug and I don't mean it, but I did write a book last year about exactly this, in the way that until we get our mind right, we can't get the actions right. So we have to get the brain right, thinking right, and then we start to see amazing results. And that's just so important, of learning how to use your mind correctly. Baby steps, brilliant. And I love that for you. Putting on weight is something that lots and lots and lots of people struggle with. As you said, there could be lots of different reasons. So if that's what somebody says, okay, it's 2023, I want to lose the weight, that again sounds quite pressurizing, quite restricting. We know that restricting leads to binging. Maybe it might be better to do exactly like you're saying. I'm just going to be a bit healthier. Even that sounds a bit better. That thought process sounds better, feels better, less pressure, and then it makes us want to do it.
Now, I've got Narinda here as well. Now, you said you had a few New Year's resolutions, Narinda.
Well, I really agree with Jacqueline, and I think it is about that mindset. I think it's just more achievable. Achievable is the way. If you say, right, I'm going to restrict my calorie intake to 500 calories and I'm going to go walking, it's not achievable. Or suddenly it's too much. And I think, well, my New Year's resolutions, I don't do the big sweeping ones. I never have. And I'm very good with my mind control. So if I say, I'm not going to eat that. If I bar of chocolate, for example, my friend always says to me, I have to eat the whole bar. And I say, I stop at 1 or 2 chunks and I put it away.
See, now I think that you are probably, you have been spawned by Satan, the fact you can do that.
I
think there is something very, very wrong with you. If I were you, I would get medical attention immediately, because anyone that can eat, I bet you could you do that, Jacqueline? I bet you could eat a square of chocolate and leave it, can't you, Jacqueline?
I mean, I can do it, but that's because I've worked through all of my stuff around food and eating, and I understand that the more I restrict food and make it wrong, the more I want to eat it. So when I go through learning how to eat everything, or as much as I want in however, much, when, how, where. After a while, it just doesn't look that exciting anymore, and one piece can do the trick.
Cristo, that's it. You just need, I have a couple of crisps and I put the crisp packet away.
And and
it satisfies me.
In fairness, I've had a lot of therapy about my thing, because I've gained and lost 100 stone in my life through crash diets and starving myself and stuffing myself, and I've had a terrible time with my weight and various issues with eating. And in fairness, the only time in my life, there is a lot of logic to what you say, but the only time in my life I've been able to have ice cream in the freezer or biscuits in the cupboard or chocolate in the fridge was when I said to myself, you can have anything you like anytime. And weirdly, when I said that, I ate less and I didn't eat as many treats. But the problem is that I think with a lot of our mindsets nowadays, it wasn't happening quickly enough for me. I was like, well, weight isn't coming off quickly for me. I've got to start restricting more and more. And that is actually the root of all evil, isn't it?
Trick?
Well, let's just see what Jacqueline has to say about that, because that is true, isn't it?
I mean, 100% that is correct. And actually, we have to be patient on that journey. And again, I could talk about this for hours and hours about, the society we live in, what we make, being overweight mean, et cetera, But there is a process that you can follow that will help, and you will get to wherever it is your body is meant to be. And that's the key. And then learning how to be, happy in that space is very, very important. And this, you can change. I really do believe that, Christo. I am a believer of that. You can, in quotes, recover from eating disorders. I'm someone who has, and again, I've gone up and down through my life. As I was getting clean, nearly 20 years ago, thank goodness now. And the eating was one of the hardest things I had to learn how to do, but I did recover. And so today I'm fully a believer of when we understand our patterns and our behaviors around it, which is what coaching is really good for, the right coaching, you can become free of that.
What's the name of your book? I might have to buy it, Jacqueline. What's the name of your book?
My book, thank you. It's called How to Do You, and you can buy it on Amazon. And
I know how to do me.
You know how to do you. There's no danger of you not knowing how to do you. What about those things that aren't perhaps about your body, but more of those external type of resolutions, like I want to get a new job, or I want to get into a relationship,
or confidence.
Those
a lot of people lack
things.
Confidence.
What do you say to those, Jacqueline? What are the key to those sorts of things?
Again, I'm going to sound like a broken record, but I'm going to say it's about mindset. If you have got a thought process in your brain that is saying, I can't get the job I want, or it's never going to happen for me, or this is impossible, right? You're sitting in a space where ultimately those are going to be the results you're going to get, i.e. nothing. What one has to do is learn how to use their mind correctly and start to choose thoughts that feel better and thoughts that you believe to be true. So this isn't just like positive thinking, but you've got to learn the methods of how to choose to think about that differently in a way.
I think the challenge, Jacqueline, is retaining those. I wake up and think, right, I'm going to be positive today. I'm going to be positive. Then one little thing goes wrong and that's it. I get negative. How do we keep on that train of positivity when life's so hard sometimes?
And that's such a great question. And this is a learning, and this is a method, and these are tools that one must learn to literally, it's a learning. Like we go to the gym and we lift weights and we learn that we have to break down the muscle for the muscle to get stronger. It doesn't happen like that. We have to learn how to do it so that we do it properly. Now, unfortunately, we are not taught this stuff at school. If we were taught this stuff at school, we would all be doing it naturally. Once we learn how to do it, it stays in our minds. And then we make this process where we naturally start to think in a more neutral or positive way.
Listen, thank you so much, Jacqueline Hurst. Name of your book again?
How to Do You.
How to Do You by Jacqueline Hurst on Amazon. Very happy New Year to you.